Welcome to DNA's Birding Adventures. We are at Crow Valley Campground and Pawnee National Grasslands. It's a great spot for birding with an excellent campground. Spring is in the air. Birds are singing at the top of their lungs looking for a mate. Foraging for food or nesting materials. Or they're frolicking around, vying for position, like these kingbirds. The Pawnee National Grasslands are about 35 miles east of Fort Collins, Colorado, and they encompass 30 by 60 mile area, or 193,000 acres, which used to be the old Trapper's Trail in 1830. The last time we were here was 11 months ago. That was our first DNA's Birding Adventure video. We always like to stay at the campground and hit the trails through the cow pasture. There's a lot of different birds there, and through the campground. And the Briggsdale High School has the mountain plovers off in the fields usually. This time we also went down Highway 79 and found a burrowing owl, which was a great find. We always head into the birding tour, the Pawnee National Grasslands, this time only about 5 miles in. We were looking for the thick-billed longspur, but we found other encounters. You've never seen the Crider's red-tailed hawk, which is all white, so we added that to a live bird list, even though it's part of the red-tailed hawk. And we also saw a dark morph red-tailed hawk. Altogether, we found 70 different species of birds and other critters, which were quite interesting, including those snakes. We added 14 new birds to our year list for a total of 268 birds this year so far. Here we go. The campground was totally booked, but they let us park in the little parking lot there. It was only $11.25 a night. We spent 2 nights. There were birders everywhere, almost more birders than birds. The area had a deluge of rain just a couple days ago, so everything was pretty muddy, and you could tell that the river, the Crow Creek there, was flowing. You can hear the Highway 14 and County Road 392 kind of intersect right here at the town of Briggsdale. We found so many different nests with birds, and we had to be very careful and very quiet not to disturb them. These were the mourning doves, and they had just hatched. The mom and dad were close by. Grass is turning green, the sun's coming out, the birds are coming out. It's a house wren. Robin. All kinds of birds. The Swainson's thrush won this contest. He sure looks grumpy. The foliage was just blooming out and the flowers were everywhere. We have wax currants at our house. Here there are golden currant bushes looking similar. The birds loved them. It was so nice to have our son Neil join us for some bird watching, hiking, and dinner. We could always use an extra eye, and photographer, he's got excellent vision and hearing at his ripe young age. was walking along through the forest and saw this. It was the longest bull snake we'd ever seen. It was like 6 feet long. We also saw this plains garter snake. It was a life snake for us. It's like orange and yellow. Last year we saw this hognose snake. Pretty cool. We didn't see it this year. There's an old farm equipment museum and a trail of the mourning dove right through the elm grove, and it actually leads to the cow pasture. That's one of our favorite birding trails as well. This is a gate into the Pawnee Grasslands as well. You just have to close the gate behind you because there's cows on the ranch there. We were walking along the fence line and saw a whole herd of antelope, the pronghorned antelope, and these were actually deer tracks. There's a rose-breasted grosbeak calling up in the trees there, eating all the little buds from the tree. Dave and I have each only seen the rose-breasted grosbeaks once before, and quite a while ago, so this was a treat to see one. I don't think there were any others, just the one. There was at least one pair of black-headed grosbeaks, but they're a lot more common here. There was a river running through this after the rains, and now it kind of dried up so it wasn't so muddy, but it pushed all the tumbleweeds out of the way. It was nice to take a break after a busy morning. Then we headed over to the Briggsdale High School to get quite a few more birds. We had a nice view from our front yard. In the afternoon, we headed over to Briggsdale High School, right across the street. That's where we saw the mountain plover before, and sure enough, there it was. The mountain plovers are losing their habitats, so they are endangered. They do like to breed in these farmlands, though, in Colorado, not anywhere near the mountains, ironically. They prefer the dry plains. Right in the parking lot of the high school were these two baby killdeer, and Mom was right nearby. They were so adorable. Everywhere we turned, there were horned larks. These were foraging, and then one caught a bug. We usually only hear these grasshopper sparrows, and this one was right near us, and he was singing away. They do sound like grasshoppers, and they're only about 4.5 inches big or long. What a great afternoon. We headed back home. We were starving, and then we took an evening walk through the cow pasture.
This looks pretty good. Green beans and corn.
That looks delicious.
After dinner, we headed back out over to the sunset area where the cow pastures are. It was gorgeous. In the grasslands, the flowers are quite different. This was a prickly pear cactus, and there were lots of evening primroses that were just coming out since it was getting late, and sand lilies everywhere. There are huge fires in Alberta, Canada, and northern Colorado is seeing a lot of the smoke. This made for a great sunset, though. What a beautiful day and a fabulous sunset. This is the next day. We went over to the Pawnee Grasslands again and got these birds, as well as this is a list from yesterday, Briggsdale at the high school. We really do enjoy driving through the Pawnee Grasslands. This time we didn't go as far, but we still got a few different birds and some action happening.
Everything's so green. Pawnee National Grasslands.
This is what the Pawnee Grasslands looked like yesterday. It cleared out a little bit, but this is the smoke from the Alberta fire up in Canada. A lot clearer today. Just right along the side of the road, we saw this little guy, and he was the 13-lined ground squirrel. Never seen one before. And a nice welcoming committee. The Pawnee Grasslands are known for their birds of prey, and this is one we've never seen before, the Crider's red-tailed hawk. It was quite white, and then we saw just the opposite markings with the dark morph red-tailed hawk, and then a Swainson's hawk, and a red-headed woodpecker. We saw one at the campground. We couldn't believe there was one there too. Maybe it was the same one. The lark buntings are considered the Colorado bird, named by a teacher back in 1931. And when they're breeding, up here they're the beautiful black and white. Down in Texas, they're like a drab gray-brown. Since there are no tall trees here on the plains, they like to fly up high like they would in the tops of a tree and call, and then they come swooping down. It's quite fun to watch. What a successful and fun few days camping at Crow Valley Campground, and with our Annie van, we're headed home. And thank you so much for tagging along. Until next time, happy trails to you. And thank you so much for watching.